All right. Bard is complicated. Let's go.
Huh? What are you looking at, kid? What? Just because I'm wearing this, you think I'm gonna sing you a silly little song?
No.
I'm retired, bucko. I'm here to get wasted, not to make you Dance Dance Revolution. Oh,
Lucy's
is that
character's actually so
GK
cute.
Gil? These are hard times, kid. My in-room shenanigans have left me with no choice.
Kind of makes me want to be a
Let
cowboy.
me tell you a tale from my youth. There once was a demon went to see if she would like FF14. An archer picked, the story goes, men her DPS really blowed.
She has a nice
Soon
voice.
did she drop this main and learn to love herself again. One day when the job makes sense, she'll pick back up the bow. Oh, you're still here. Man, I thought the cringe would scare you away, but you're pretty tough, aren't
Still
you?
here.
I realize that's a
Still
sea
here.
shanty, not exactly on brand, but hey, bards are the type of people who will go ham on the harp while the ship goes down. Not to comfort other people, just to flex their ability to play in stressful situations. While we were screaming in terror, the bards were doing the caramel dancing. We are no match for their power. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Lucy, bard isn't even that bad. Why did you waste a video on this? And the other 50% of you are thinking, Lucy, you're finally talking about how terrible bard is. Nice. And because of that split, this
That's you,
video
Sonny.
was not titled Suffering. Because being a bard is a lot like being in a semi-abusive 7th grade relationship. The good times are so good, you feel on top of the world. You feel cool, the same way you did when you first snorted a Smartie at recess. And the bad times make you want to commit unalive by slicing your tongue off with a bowstring. And in commemoration
Jesus
of their
Christ.
pain, I will chronicle their confusing history for all to see. Seriously, mating bard is such a strong act of masochism, it should be considered a form of public ERP and a bannable offense. For legal reasons, that's a joke. Yoshi P, do not at me. Welcome, traveler.
Wait, I
How's
missed
it going?
that. I
What's
looked
that?
away.
You think I and a bannable offense. For legal reasons, that's a joke. Yoshi P, do not at me.
Note, are we bard or are we dancer?
Welcome, traveler. How's it going? What's that? You think I should tune my harp? I'm gonna level with you, my guy. I have no idea how to use this thing, much less tune it. Is that something you do? You tune harps? What do you do for a living? Huh? What do I do? Now that you mention it, I really don't know. All the way back in A
Aw.
Realm Reborn, I think I knew who I was. I knew I was a hot take. I knew not everyone would agree with my direction, but I was confident. I would be the weirdest version of Bard that gamers had ever seen, and I would make it look good. But in Heavensward, I began to doubt. I saw Summoner and Black Mage, and they were so cool. Maybe I should be more like them, I thought. I tried to do that, but that's just not me. So Stormblood came, and I wanted to embrace the things that really made me who I am, but different, with a little more spice this time around. So I turned my songs into my rotation, which meant I was living my best class fantasy life with constant songs playing. And I still had access to refresh for support. I felt whole. I felt like myself again. But just when things were looking up, Shadowbringers happened. And I was cast down from heaven by the anime protagonist transfer student. Dancer. I got mugged,
Dancer.
robbed of every penny I was worth by some ditz in red. I've lost so many players, it feels like no one loves me anymore. I used to be so popular, so simple, so beloved by new and veteran players alike. I just don't know what happened. And the changes coming in Endwalker, I'm not sure if it's enough. I ask myself, what is it that the devs want from me? What's their goal? And no one talks about this, but why did they delete this beautiful, flashy, overdramatic, perfectly bard aesthetic skill, but kept this animation for Quick Knock? What? Who made that decision? Who is responsible? I just want to talk. Huh?
That animation
You
was cool.
only wanted to know my name. Oh, well, that's easy. My name is Esteban Julio Ricardo Montoya de la Ro... Welcome to Heavensward. We have dragons, we have anti-church plot lines. The favorite expansion of many, but definitely not the favorite of the bards and machinists in the audience, for one very understandable reason. Featuring one of the top contenders for worst job decisions made by the devs, we have the revolutionary idea to make the ranged DPS casters instead. Wonderful job, guys. I'm sure the people who mained Bard in 2.0 are ecstatic with this change. Let's take the class known for its mobility and versatility and make it a turret with no auto attacks. Jeez. Well, as you can expect, it did not go over well. I was here
Oh
for
my
this cringe
God, they
mechanic,
broke
so
my
let me explain
job.
the gist of it to you.
Holy
you know
crap.
Wanderer's Minuet? It's cool enough enough now, but once upon a time, it was a skill that gave all of your GCDs cast bars in exchange for more damage, which, in the initial 3.0 patch, did not actually give you more damage, because they never accounted for the ridiculous amount of autos that Bard can get
If I wanted to be a
turret,
turret, I'd play Black Mage.
Do more damage than autos, which was their way of digging their heels in the sand and demanding we just get used to it. It was bizarre. I felt like I was being gaslit, like I was telling the devs, I like Bard because it's simple, fast, and mobile. And they just slapped me in the face with 3 slices of moldy bologna and said, no you don't. In fact, I blame this entire decision for my current status as a healer main. I quit Bard and Heavensward specifically because of this change and started playing Scholar instead, which only put me down another path of suffering. You gotta think about the ripple effect here, guys. Who else was pushed into the thankless healer role by the legend of Bow Mage? How many of us suffer in silence? You think you have trust issues? No one has trust issues like Bards who were there since 2.0. And if you have any Bard friends, make sure to tell them thank you for your service. I could sing you a song about playing Bard, but I'll spare your ears. Instead, take this dramatic poem reading. I have no quality of life. Instead, just a lifetime of strife.
The music.
I long for the embrace of a knife. Love Bard, Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bard used to be extremely brain dead. Every so often, you would wake up to use your bloodletter proc and then go back to sleep until your next opportunity to refresh stats. We've already complained about Heavensward, but Stormblood changes almost made up for it. Yo, this Bard was fun to me. You weren't just using songs for support. They were constant, and each song had its own unique effect, while still providing a small crit buff to the party at all times if you were playing at your best. It wasn't as easy to play anymore, but hey, the old playstyle was getting stale anyway. It did make a bad Bard even more obvious than before. Now if a Bard sucked, they really sucked. And in Shadowbringers, you no longer have that 2% crit buff to soften the blow. Actually, if you were with a bad enough Bard, it's not like you'd get that crit buff anyway. The best way I can describe Bard's playstyle is, it's a little weird. Kinda hard to understand the thought process that went behind it. Battle voice doesn't buff you, it only buffs your party, so I guess Bards hate the sound of their own voice. Finally, a relatable Final Fantasy XIV job. And as for those songs, they can be cool and all, but they have some rough quality of life issues. Ever played a job that gets so excited it creates too much of a good thing at one time? Welcome to Mage's Ballad, which procs Bloodletter. Way too much. They finally changed Bloodletter to have 2 charges like the player base was asking, so this would be less of a problem, but
that's cool.
Judging by this footage, it's still an absolute mess of lost DPS. I love this community. We can't even fix our own issues. I, for one, appreciate the fact that we have a low collective IQ. Ever played a job that has a section of the rotation you just want to get out of as soon as possible from both a DPS and fun factor perspective? Hello, Army's Payon. I have no idea if I pronounced that right. A song that increases your skill speed but caps out at 4 notes, which makes it feel very, very bad compared to the other songs in your rotation. Ever played a job that's complete RNG as to whether your big damage skill is actually going to give you big damage or just okay damage? Hello, Wanderer's Minuet. Why does it feel like Bloodletter procs 69 times during Mage's Ballad, but I sometimes struggle to get 3 of you in one freaking use? Ever wanted a skill that's useless in 99% of situations? Say no more. Still no AoE Bane, so enjoy spreading your dots over and over again to proc Brain of Death for another 2 years.
Dots is just boring, to be honest.
Bard is pretty much the new dot class, but they refuse to acknowledge them as such. I'm low-key convinced.
So I'm happy they're getting rid of the dots for some of them.
They're so committed to their own internal lore and headcanons that they refuse to embrace change. I admire their dedication, but I wish they would just break up with their abusive ex already. It's not healthy, and we're all worried about you, my guy. You know what they say about siblings. The youngest gets everything they want, the middle gets halfway ignored, and the oldest is expected to survive by photosynthesis alone. Well, the ranged siblings are no exception. Make no mistake, the dev team is full of simps. Because when little Dancer came along, Yoshi P said to himself, "Sweetie, I'm gonna give you everything you want, everything you need. You will never want for anything, darling. Perish the thought.
Give me
you
nuggies.
are unique. Nothing that belongs to you can belong to anyone else."
for
And
my
then he
limbs, the
ripped
square
90%
meeting.
of the support away from Bard and gave it to Dancer. But better. Now in Shadowbringers, when Bard sings
This was the
only
International
for
5.0.
itself. Ah yes. When I think of Bard, I think of a selfish man who sings Staying Alive under his breath to make himself more powerful. That is true class fantasy S tier. Amazing work, guys. Hack it up. No one else can compete. I'm probably not the only person who loved Stormblood Bard and played it frequently, only to turn into someone who forgets the job exists in 5.0. And I'm not the only one who forgets. Say what you will about class meta, it's true that Bard is fine from a damage standpoint, but the numbers don't lie. If it weren't for the meme status Monk has, Bard would be the least popular job as of right now. Everyone can tell that the
Really?
class
I
is
thought it was
missing
Monk.
something, and I mean, yeah, it's missing its heart. I was excited for Dancer's release, and yes, self-exposed, besides Samurai, it is my DPS main. But that doesn't mean I wasn't salty that Daddy gave more attention to the new baby than he ever did to me. It feels like there are people who care about Dancer and Machinist on the dev team, but I'm not so sure about Bard. I think they get confused on what they're gonna do with it every single expansion, which is weird. Maybe that's just what they do with dot jobs. That's why Summoner kept changing every expansion,
Maybe.
and now it actually is a Summoner. Maybe Bard is next. You're the one who came up with the wacky half Bard, half Archer thing. Now commit, cowards. Figure it out. So, is
So
Bard
good.
Yes. Is Bard bad? Also yes. Is it okay? Yes. No. Maybe? It seems like the Bard discourse is composed of two opposing groups, with people who used to play Bard on the left and people who currently main Bard on the right. The former mains think it's incomplete and scuffed, and the current mains will defend it to their dying breath. For example, I can only hope that this comment is sarcasm.
I'm so ready
The
to triple wave
masochism
Bloodletter.
displayed here almost makes me feel bad for leaving Scholar. And Walker is giving us back the buff identity, kinda. The new skill seems a little bit odd. The balance kids are gonna have to do all the actual math, and I'll come back later to reap the benefits of that knowledge after contributing nothing at all to the forum. And honestly, if you don't like Bard
That's me.
now, 6.0 is unlikely to change your mind. They've decided the state of Monk is so dire that it's fine to put Bard players on the back burner. You just have to hope that these Monk changes work out, cause right now, it looks like it's just gonna get reworked every 2 years while Bard collects more and more dust. Awesome! Well, maybe 7.0, huh? Here's to another
my
expansion
God.
of blue balling. And now I must make a confession, gamers. I think I'm personally responsible for the Endwalker delay. I was lying to myself. Told myself that I was just imagining the clear signals Square Enix was sending to me. But I can deny the truth no longer. I think Endwalker getting delayed was a message from Yoshi P that he wanted this video to happen. He said, listen, the symbolism will be great. YouTube doesn't know you're a hypocrite. They don't know that you used to be a here girl archer that turned into a Mikote after seeing the slash joy emote. But I do. I know everything about you, Lucy, and I won't rest until everyone else does too. And I said, Mr. Yoshi P, sir, how did you get in my room? How did you get inside of an anime? Why are you doing this? And then he was like, shh. Honey, just
Oh
let
my
it happen.
God.
For legal reasons, that was just a nightmare, and I stand here before you a better woman because of it. In conclusion, we stand at the edge of a new expansion, but
God.
Bard only stands at the edge of a cliff, and they're so eager for attention, they're about to do a flip. Now back to ignoring these minstrels exist and getting hyped for Endwalker in 9 days for real this time. Boys, no more Sagi, no more Scholar Copium, only hype. And of course, it's Bard this time, so
Oh
no
my
rapping.
God.
I'll be singing you a sweet little song instead. Psych. Thought I wouldn't rap? Don't get yourself, brat. Just give me for a snap, cause I'm here to
Far
spit
out.
facts, no cap. I'm on a journey all the way back before I walk to the end, cause I gotta close the gap. The parts are feeling trapped, not the EDM crap. The devs are giving scraps, leaving all the kids trapped. Each expansion is another mishap. God balls say that's a wrap. Yo, cut the track. Need you to throw these kids a bone, or the misfit monks won't be sitting alone. It's not too late, you can still atone before the Bard shoot drive-by arrows in your home. Let me get Yoshi P on the phone. He's the real MC. He understands my tone. No, I'm serious, mister. Better get
I really want to
along.
know if
Never
Yoshi
tie
has
you
seen
down
these
to the
videos.
dethrone.
I reckon he has. I reckon he has, because he's seen I remember Annie was saying that he's seen like Annie's reaction videos and stuff. So I honestly would be surprised if Yoshi has like literally seen this. You feel so attacked. Oh my god. I mean, that's what Lucy does best, right? So good. Amazing.